Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your GEST, the Challenge Grand Finals, day number 2. That's right, by the time today is over, we will have a GEST Challenge champion. We will have a successful challenger. Whatever team wins this event takes home $1,500. The rest get zilch. Fortunately for all the teams, they still have a shot, but there's only one team with the inside track to get that $1,500. That is LGD International, who stormed their way through the first 2 rounds of the winner's bracket. They are sitting comfortably, waiting for whoever can make it. The best of the rest are LGD, China, Orange, and MUFC. All 3 will be fighting to compete for that right against LGD for $1,500. I'm LD. I am joined here today by Bulba. Most recently seen, I believe, at least officially, playing for the A team, formerly known as Complexity. Bulba, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? I'm doing really well. And I can't wait to watch this game, actually. I mean, I hope that both teams bring something better than they brought yesterday. I think both were like kind of the disappointment. I thought LGD China would do a lot better, but their game versus MVC didn't go so well. And same with Orange.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the storyline of this match, isn't it? Both of these teams just did not look like the teams we saw at the G1 LAN finals. Now, in the case of Orange, they're not playing with Mushi, and, replacing Mushi with KYXY. Or Ice, however you want to look at it. Most people would say that's perhaps a bit of a downgrade as far as individual skill goes. Nonetheless, I mean, Orange has played with KYXY and Ice, filling in here and there before, and it's been fight. They've never looked as totally lost, and some of that, the credit has to go to LGD International for playing well, but a lot of that, it just felt like it wasn't the same Orange we're used to seeing. Weird drafts. We saw the Lifestealer, TA Alchemist, triple hard carry against a team that probably would have gone pretty well late game, but certainly crushed them early. Didn't seem like they had the answers. On the other side, LGD China, a team who looked dominant at G1, struggled a bit at WCG, losing to Tongfu. That was Dota 1, that was an old patch, but nonetheless, these are 2 teams that, at times have looked incredibly strong. We saw Orange taking down IG at the G1 finals, but, yesterday, they just didn't have the answers.
Yeah, I think the problem is that, just play-wise, I know that LGD actually, Brax told me they just came back and they were kind of jet-lagged, or not jet-lagged, they were just tired from WCG. And I think Orange had the same scenario because they had to go to WCG as well. So both teams weren't playing on their best. So sad to see.
It is sad to see, but the good news for these teams is they're not out of the tournament. It is going to be a bit of a slog. They've got to work their way. For whoever wins this, they then have to face MUFC. Both of these matches are best out of 3s. This is game 1 of our first losers bracket match. Then when you win that, you've got to face LGD International with a 1-game advantage in a best out of 5. So it is going to be a very long day if one of these teams make it all the way to the grand finals. That's at least 4 matches just to get there, then another 3 to win it. That's 7 wins to string it all together, and that is, that's a marathon when it comes to Dota. That's assuming you have clean 2-0 sweeps. You don't have 2-1 series. So there is that stamina factor to be considered. We'll see how it goes. But as we look towards this game and the draft unfolding, Orange is taking, can we call it a page out of LGD International's book? I mean, IG had sort of done this originally, I suppose, but LGD International was really favoring it. And we never saw IG do this, which is the first pick Luna.
Yeah, I think they just, after watching Luna yesterday, Luna, I actually don't think it lost a game. I'm not entirely sure because I didn't catch the middle games, but at least the games that LGD played it, they won every game with it. So I think at least it just showed it's like a really strong carry that can participate in fights and push as well. And we don't really have that right now. AM can't really push or anything, and Void can just farm, and Luna's really the only thing that can hard carry and push and get you some map control early on. And Night Stalker is a really good mid-game hero with Luna. You can just go push heroes. You can just go push towers, and Night Stalker just runs in and tanks all this tower damage, and
right.
He's just a huge tank for the Luna and the Eclipse. So it's also LGD took the Sven. So I actually think these picks are kind of similar to what Orange had yesterday, game 2 I think versus LGD.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
The other thing is Luna's also great against Undying because that Tombstone doesn't live long at all with all the plus damage you get from Lunar Blessing for your team. So it's another nice benefit to the hero. To some extent, you could say even as a bit of a counter for Undying. Not necessarily in the early levels, but once you get to the mid-game, where he starts to fall off a bit anyway. Well, the rest of the bans have been completed. We see the Nyx Assassin Keeper Light. Pretty much all of these strong sort of support utility heroes being banned out by LGD because Orange, they do need something. They don't really have an offlane hero. It looks like I mean, I'm guessing a Night Stalker mid, a Luna safe lane. You can offensive tri-lane with Luna, but I really don't think you want to do that against what LGD has. So most likely we're looking at a safe lane Luna, probably a Rubik playing support, Night Stalker mid, and then either a jungler and an off lane or a support and an off lane. But Orange, as far as their picks go, seems like a pretty good opening to me. The one concern for me, though, Bulba, is this is not really a type of lineup that Orange runs a whole lot. So it may be great if you execute it correctly, but are they really the type of team that's comfortable running it?
Especially versus the passive play that LGD has, and LGD also has the Undying. So if Orange kind of makes a mistake in the team fights where they just get caught out of hand and get what Sven's done with a tombstone attacking them with all the zombies, they're going to be in trouble. So the problem right now is in the Chen. So this is really similar to a kind of lineup that LGD would pick. I mean, they usually have the junglers, and I know Extinct loves the Chen. It's probably his go-to hero and most famous hero. He had some really clutch plays actually at WCG with his Chen, even though they lost. So another thing is Rubik is actually a really good hero versus Undying, just because you can steal the tomb, and if you can get this tomb, it's pretty insane in the team fight.
Yeah, if you steal that tombstone, it's game breaking, absolutely. Especially when you already have a great pushing lineup with Chen and Luna. That's just one more. Well, LGD they get. I guess this will be the Xiao 8 Beastmaster. We saw them play an off-lane Beastmaster before, but they don't have another real obvious solo mid yet. So, and I feel like the solo mid Beastmaster is a lot
I don't
better.
think off-lane Beastmaster is viable anymore. I don't think it's that strong because teams have learned how to just play versus him and keep him from ancienting and keep him from getting experience. And he needs the levels and farm. So I think mid Beastmaster is a lot better just because you get the early roar out and you get a lot of map presence.
And he's also good against Night Stalker. You can deny the runes with the boar. If you go for that, you can just push the lane with Inner Beast, Axe Spam, Bottle Crow, and control the runes. Once Night Stalker hits nighttime, you could use that Hawk to kind of scout what he's doing if you've gone for it. Or if he's just leaving the lane to gank, then you're pushing his lane hard with Inner Beast. So on a variety of levels, I like this. But I think the biggest thing is it gives them long-range initiation, which is what you want to discourage Orange from grouping up as pushing. This is how they can start a fight. And, that's sort of the piece that when we saw yesterday from Orange fighting against the strategy, they didn't have a hero like Beastmaster who can just start the fight. They had Sven, but Sven was their carry. He didn't really want to be the one running in first that early on.
Yeah, and this is actually really I think it just says what LG's lanes are going to be. They're going to be Yao is usually the 3 on their team, especially the role switch that they had after TI2 where Xiao went to the mid. Just because of the heroes that Yao played, like Invoker mid and Queen Rubik mid are not as popular anymore, so he's going to take the Sven, and I think they're going to aggressive tri-lane. And one of the reasons that Chinese teams actually they love Necrolite is that Necrolite can beat any hero on the safe lane, just because of the insane amount of regen he gets just from the Sadist as well as with his nuke. So they're probably going to send the Necrolite solo versus the Furion and this tri-lane up there. And Chen isn't that effective early on. And maybe if you get a good creep or something, you can get a kill off, but he isn't as effective as probably like a Shadow Demon or something else.
Right. Now, I'm glad you brought up the Necrolite point because you're right in that 1v1 matchup. I think the one we've seen most of all is the Necrolite versus an offlane Darkseer, and it's always gone well for Necrolite in lane. The one issue has been, and this is something IG did really well in the G1 League, not at the LAN finals, but in the matches leading up to it in the online playoffs, they had Ferrari solo mid as Night Stalker, and he wouldn't gank the enemy tri-lane. What he would actually do is just gank that safe lane farmer. I think it was a Necrolite in one of the games, and it's something a lot of teams don't expect, so we'll see if Orange go for that, but a TP gank, especially having Prophet already, maybe Chen smoke ganking in that direction. Necrolite, although he's great 1v1, he does struggle a bit against those ganks, so that may be a way they look to try and shut him down. Of course, if you do that, then you're worrying about the Inner Beastmaster pushing mid, you're worrying about the tri-lane diving your tower there, so it's a bit of a trade-off, but there are some options available. Since we have a moment, let's introduce the players. Yao is going to be handling the Sven. Like you mentioned, it will be an offensive tri-lane from the looks of things. He's already headed bottom. Xiao 8 playing the Beastmaster. He's rushing a bottle. Solo mid for him. Leshrek going to be a support handled by DDC. And DD playing the Undying. Looks like he already picked up the Courier. Last but not least, it is Sylar on that safe lane Necrolite. Early random protection. Probably going to be a Basilius just to pressure that lane and control it a little better. Over on the side of Orange, we have Ice playing the support Rubik. Observers and Sentries picked up. KYXY on the Night Stalker. Is rushing a bottle, but they're going to defend their own jungle. They want Extinct to have a good start. Extinct, generally a jungler that he doesn't really get aggressive early on anyway. I think that's why Chen is his best jungler, along with Enigma to a certain extent. He likes to get a bit of levels and farm first and then come out and help the team. Yamate on that safe lane Luna. And last but not least, it is Ice, Ice, Ice. And this I really like. Ice, Ice, Ice on a hero. Not that Lifestealer doing the weird courier shenanigans in the Ancients, which I know you gave him a hard time about yesterday. But this is a hero he actually has played a lot in the past, something he's a lot more comfortable with.
The problem right now is, if LGD had this lineup, I think they would have taken Clockwork instead of the Furon there. And if you look at the heroes that LGD have, they have Sven, they have a Beastmaster. Like Clockwork, I mean, a Furion isn't gonna do as much as what, Furion is a good farmer and he's a good offlaner, but I guess he could TP bottom to help, but that leaves Necrolite free farm up top. So I think Necrolite, no matter what, he's gonna do really well top, just because he's gonna get the regen with the Sadist. And the Furion is gonna have trouble, especially if the if the Beastmaster comes top early, which I think Zhao H should do. He should try and top and get a kill for Sylar instead of trying to gank the tri-lane, which is kind of obvious. And I know that every time he plays the mid beast, he tries to get the early smokes on the chicken early, and he goes and ganks, which is also interesting because Night Stalker does the exact same thing. If you watch Ferrari, he gets the early smoke on Night Stalker, he TPs to a lane, and then he goes and kills whatever hero's there.
This is such an interesting matchup, the Night Stalker versus Beastmaster, because they both have their benefits, especially early on in the lane. Beastmaster generally seems to do a bit better. He's got better rune control. But once it's that first nighttime, that's Night Stalker's big time to shine, and there are some gankable heroes in this game. Leshrac, well, he's protected by two beefy heroes, but he himself is quite squishy. On the other side, Rubik, Chen, even the Luna. I mean, Orange, I gotta say, that's the one difference between these lineups as well, is Orange just feel a lot squishier until Extinct gets his items up. If he gets the early mech, if he gets the quick hand of God, then it gets harder to find kills, but until then, LGD, they have overall what seems to be a much more durable lineup.
And Yao got the double damage.
Oh, really?
Nice there, guys.
Unfortunately, it doesn't trap him because that telekinesis does kill off the trees.
Yeah, it was actually interesting. I mean, I think of a support hero got the double damage over the Sven, it probably would have been more efficient, but that still does slightly help them in the tri-lane. So.
Yeah, also because they throw him back, it's going to use up a lot of the duration, but hey, that could have happened to a support as well. Either way, as far as our jungle goes, we have a magic bush horde. For me, this is the other big thing to keep an eye on, because what Extinct could do if he wanted to is go into the enemy jungle. That would leave his tri-lane or his dual lane bottom very vulnerable, but I don't know what he can really do anyway. I mean, it's an undying Sven Leshrac tri-lane. You've got a Luna who is decent at level 1 with the Aura, but she doesn't really get too scary until a few more levels. So I think that Chen might be best just going... What do you think about just going into the enemy jungle, maybe putting some pressure on the Necrolite or the Beastmaster in the first couple of minutes?
If he gets a good creep in, he could possibly gank the Beastmaster mid. The problem is he doesn't have a smoke. He would have to buy it, so to go all the way top, he would have to smoke. He would have to smoke there to be efficient, but he can obviously just walk there. The thing right now is, I actually think they should try and contest this tri-lane, because Furion can TP down. And this tri-lane, even though they have the Undying and the Leshrac, they could get a kill just because of how much damage the Luna does. That's one of the reasons that Luna's picked so much, is just because even if you aggressive versus her, she has all this insane damage. And Rubik gets that exact Lunar Blessing too, so he gets the plus 14 as well.
Right, he does. And, well, we'll see. I'm not sure what Ice can do. Maybe we should see some mid pulls from him. He's just going to be standing here. Obviously, that leaves the Luna on an island, but it feels like he's going to be a bit... not too many options. The one downside is they're running an offensive tri-lane on the Dire side, so they can't pull the lane like you can. If you're on the Radiant, you could just pull that big camp towards the lane, and you can get a bunch of experience that way. So he'll be a bit behind. They de-ward the Magic Bush Horde. DD is... Oh, he manually blocked both camps by standing in it. What a play by DD. This is real smart. This is something that the Chinese teams are really consistent about. Whenever they offensive tri-lane, they always body block the camps as much as possible. And it not only saves you, it not only blocks the camps, but it also saves you from having to use a ward.
So they're actually getting caught out there. I think they, if Ice maybe tried to telekinesis them back, they could have done something. It's still a level 1. They have the Troll Warrior there too, and they have level 2 Luna, so they have the Lucent Beam for the extra mini stun. But I guess they didn't want to do that. Instead, they're just going to be playing passive. They sentry warded and dewarded both the wards that were... The ward that was camping both the rune spots. So they're going to be able to get this pull, which is pretty big for this lane.
Yeah, they really, that's how they can, and especially because the Dire don't have a response of their own. They can't pull the lane back, so it leaves them in kind of a tough place. They also don't have a smoke, and nor would it really make sense to have one early on, because sure, there's an enemy Sven in the jungle, you'd love to go gank him, but you don't really have a great hero to leave alone in the tri-lane. It's not a hero like a Windrunner, or even a Clockwork, who you can sort of leave to his own devices. Sven needs that help, which means, it's with the pulls being available and the Chen getting access to his own jungle, Orange feels like they're in a decent position here. Prophet does drop quite low in the top lane. He's got a salve. He'll be okay, but I mean, like you mentioned, it's the X factor is going to be the two solo mids and then this Prophet. Necrolite, he's great at farming in that top lane. He can put pressure on the tower, but he can't contribute to that tri-lane the way that the Prophet can.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brax is actually messaging me, telling me that LGD's lagging a lot, so this is a pretty unfortunate.
Well, for the moment, their pings look stable, but I'm sure they were spiking before.
Yeah, I mean, I think this happened with actually LGD yesterday in the first game versus MUFC. People just kept dropping randomly. It was like weird. It kind of got better at the second half of the game, but I think Zhao keeps disconnecting and reconnecting.
Yeah, and this is something Brax talked about as well. I talked to him after the matches yesterday, and apparently the worst time is like right when they were having that winter bracket finals. It's I guess it's, what time is it over there? It's like pretty late at night or like late evening in China. Apparently, for whatever reason, they just have horrible ping. And he said it's not the internet, it's the connection to the Steam servers. Like the Steam servers are overloaded to some extent in China.
It's because of the entire like everyone just using the Southeast Asian servers, and because the Chinese servers are so bad right now, which I hope they fix soon, which is pretty big.
Yeah, it's and you know, especially with the Great Firewall of China, it's, you know, it's one of these things where even if the teams have a decent internet connection, they're never gonna have great ping outside of China. Just all that extra packet filter. But anyway, on the middle lane, KYXY and Xiaowei both farming really well. I gotta say, pretty impressed by both players holding their own. This is a matchup that can go either way, but so far looks to be pretty even. Xiaowei has gone for a single point Call the Wild, but has taken a point in Inner Beast as well. I'm really curious how...
Yao is actually war crying bottom. Okay, really nice telekinesis there by Ice.
Oh, they're still going to go on it. There's the Stormbolt. They will have to split Earth, and it's a lightning build. I don't... this might be enough. He's dropping... Yeah, well, who am I kidding? It definitely is. And, well, this Rubik-Luna dual lane, you know, they maybe had a chance to go for a kill at level 1 with Chen. They chose not to, and now they give up a first blood, and that's not going to make life any easier.
Yep, the problem right now is you'd think but they have to play passive. So either if any of these heroes get caught out of tower or get caught out of the tower vision, they're usually gonna die just because of how long the Sven stun lasts. It's 2 seconds at level 1, so that was long enough for DDC to follow up with this Leshrac stun. You know, and with the Undying, it's so much damage.
Right. You know, it's interesting because you mentioned that pulling would be an advantage to Orange, but I feel in some ways against this tri-lane, it's actually a bit of a trap. Because as soon as that pull happens, LGD is 3-manning right there, and with Warcry, they don't even have to be close to catch up to you. Now they go on to Yamate. The chain stun is good. Beautiful telekinesis, but not enough. And gets sniped off by the lightning. Undying actually claiming the last hit there. Extinct shows up again to the lane, but really, what can he do, especially with this creep? The answer is not a whole lot.
And DDC is gonna clarity up Yao, so he's gonna have mana by the time that Yamate comes back. So they can probably repeat this. Yao is probably gonna stand back and wait for his mana to go to 140, and they're gonna go again. The problem right now is Orange have nothing at all to stop this. Their only real reliable source is this Furion helping or the Chen. But if you look at top, this Necrolite, as soon as the Furion leaves, he's gonna push this easily. He went to Tranquil Boots, so he's just abusing Ice. This is actually one of the reasons the Necrolite's picked so often. He can just stand there and just right-click the enemy and without taking much damage.
Right, and if you try to trade blows, then he heals you, heals himself and damages you, and that I mean, it doesn't actually do that much damage until it's max, but because it's doing some damage to you and healing himself, it hugely shifts the difference in your HPs. The one thing I'm curious about is this middle lane where KOXY gets roared and the double damage from Xiaowei. What a time to find that kill. A little cocky from KYXY to stick around there. He was hoping for the bottle to come back. He was ferrying it, and he pays. And now the middle lane going well, and this is even this the 1 point Inner Beast. Look at how fast he's mauling this tower down.
That is so much damage, especially because of the obviously because of the double damage in the siege. But
it was even at half before that showed up though. That's the crazy thing. Bottom lane they go onto Yamate. Yamate's taking a lot of damage. What do you do when this tri-lane is diving? You tango into the trees like a boss. That's what you do. Prophet TP's in. Yamate turns around to try and fight. Prophet TP is canceled. Then he comes in again, goes on to DD. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Night Stalker gets some revenge on Xiao8. Buyback from Xiao8. He wants to help turn things around. No, he doesn't. He's just going to TP mid. I'm not interested why he did that, but bottom lane, DD's probably going to go down. One more auto attack. No, the heal. The decay from SC to keep him alive. Now Yao. Oh, Ice. What a time first sprout. They want the Leshrac. Leshrac is going to live with about 40 HP. Will anyone die in this fight? It seems maybe only Icy. Now Yamate comes in. Party in the bottom lane. Everybody's got an invitation except for that Beastmaster, apparently, since he chose not to show up. And boy, would they have loved to have his axes there. But he does push the middle lane in. He got the tier 1, and I guess for him, that was the more important objective. Meanwhile, oh no, sorry, that was actually denied by KYXY after the kill.
That was actually a really, really good series of events there for Orange. They got the kill. Oh, Xiao8's gonna catch up Extinct.
Well, this is a bit of a slow start for Extinct. You know, he came down to that bottom lane twice. Normally we see him play much more of, you know, it's sort of like how Ake generally plays his Chen, which is farm until you get the core levels and items, and then you start pressuring. You'll come out of the jungle at level 5 or 6, but this Chen, because they were up against an offensive tri-lane that was so strong, he tried to help the bottom lane twice. And so he's a bit behind. He pays there with a death.
Like, this is why Sylar is considered one of the best carries. He like predicts that Night Stalker is probably gonna come up and smoke gank him. So as soon as he senses that, he just goes back and he pulls the camp to pull back the wave. So he's probably not gonna die here. Who knows?
This
If you're
is,
on Ken PP.
This is not an easy kill, but at the same time, Sylar is pretty low HP. Lots of regen, not much HP though. KYXY gets fogged a little bit. Now the silence above the Stormbolt. Oh no, it was on Ice. Should have been on the Night Stalker, I feel. Probably wouldn't have mattered in the end though. Meanwhile, middle lane, Beastmaster just pushing that lane in. They forced the TP out from the Sven. That's going to create an opportunity for Yamate on the bottom lane. And he immediately approaches that creep wave. Despite being up against an offensive tri-lane, he's almost level 6. So he, as far as levels go, not doing too badly. The concern is he's still very squishy.
Actually, I think that was a misplay there by Yao. I think if he just saved the Stormbolt, is the reason that Necrolite died there was because of a right click of the Night Stalker. So if he just stunned Night Stalker, it probably would have been better. But look at mid, KYXY is being really cocky.
No, maybe not cocky if he gets this kill, and he will do so. Now he TP's away. He knows the Sven already TP'd top. I guess he figured the Leshrac wasn't, or Leshrac was dead. He actually just got picked off bottom. They only, I mean, I guess they've got the Necrolite ult, but you gotta figure Necrolite's not gonna spend his time counter ganking, so they don't have that many ways to cancel TPs. Well, it works out, certainly, for KYXY, and he's getting some momentum going. As far as net worth goes, second highest in the game. He's got that smoke of deceit we talked about, and we may see him continue to go for some kills on Sylar. Sylar actually rotates mid. He doesn't feel comfortable top anymore.
Yep, after that mistake that KYXY actually made mid, he's making up with his plays. I mean, he helped gank bottom, he helped gank top, and he got a revenge kill on Xiao8 mid. So he's playing exceptionally well right now, and he got the urn. So this is an 8-minute urn with bottle and boots and the extra smoke. So if he gets up these kills, and it's going to be pretty crazy if he snowballs, especially because if you look at LGD's heroes, even though they have the Sven stun and the Beastmaster stun, they still have heroes that have low HP.
Oh, bottom lane. Yamate is dropping low. The Tombstone was used. They secure the kill. Aurora was used there by the Beastmaster as well. But hey, they get the kill. KYXY smoked up. He's thinking about going top. He really wants Sylar mid. Oh, is he going to go on this? He's going to start with the Void. Now the Silence, the auto attacks coming in. That's a pretty angry Vampire, but not enough damage. Forced to back off. Prophet TP'ing in, canceling that one. Ice going for the Midas. He got the boots early, I guess, worried about being tower dove a little bit. But now he's going back for Midas. So Orange, they have held on to most of their towers, and I think that's pretty good for them. On to DDC, KYXY goes, he is just trying to kill everyone. One-man army from him. Will this cost him his life? Split Earth, not going to be found there. Nice Juki, now comes back in. Ice is here. Prophet ult bouncing through, gets one. Maybe they can get Sylar. Is there mana for a Void? There is. Earth Charge already thrown out. Void cooling down, available. Orange is just finding all the openings in LGD. Not prepared for this level of aggression. I gotta say, where is Xiao8 when these ganks are happening? He consistently is just farming. We saw in G1, he was always in the right place every time. In this game, it feels like he's not there when his team needs him.
Well, I think the problem right there is they went to smoking the Luna, and they did kill the Luna bottom, but he didn't have a TP and it wasn't down, so and Roar wasn't up, so he wasn't there to counter gank mid. So it wasn't technically just a fault of his. I think it was just like a misfortune because he went to kill the Luna, they got that, and if you look at Luna, she actually isn't farming that well at all. She just has a trank position. She's 1 and 3, and I even missed that kill, so my bad on that. But It was a surprise kill on her, so she's pretty under farm right now. And Sylar is under farm too, but yeah, they're both pretty under farm.
The underfarm Necrolite for me is the much bigger issue, though, because Luna's almost certainly going to get her farm, and she also gives the team a lot more just by existing. Whereas Necrolite, he's got to live like a lot longer to just be able to spam tons of heals. KYXY comes in once again onto Sylar. They are just picking on this Necrolite. You can't hide from TPs anyway, so it appears. LGD smokes up, trying to pressure top. Will they actually find anyone? KYXY already level 10. He's a beefy Night Stalker. He might get caught out here. Will, what an eclipse! Maybe not, though. It only hits the creeps. It looked okay, but the creeps take all of the shots. Profitable cleans up the Sven. Now Yamate, Hand of God, to turn this fight around a little bit. Lucid Beam, killing off. Oh, he's dead to the zombies. There's no way Yamate lives through this, or is there? No, he's so low. Save Yamate. Save Yamate. They will. Everyone's still alive. KYXY will finally die. Profit thinking about TPing and Yamate. No mana to TP out. Now he's got it, but it's looking to be too late. It is. Decay is there. Tons of kills. Already 19 kills, 11.5 minutes in. But Orange, they're getting the tower pushes off of their kills, and I don't see that happening right now for LGD.
Yeah, even though both, that was probably better for LGD, it was actually sick play there by KYXY. His reflex was really fast. They were smoking, ganking top, and before Sven got the stun off, he silenced him and he nuked him and he got the urn charge off. So if he didn't do that, he was probably gonna die there because of the follow-up by the Leshrac stun.
And that's
But really sick counter initiate by Xiaowei as well. So
that silence, he's really making that work. I mean, every fight, it seems like he's silencing the right hero, and LGD, it feels like they need all of their abilities in synchronization to find these kills. Sometimes you see a Night Stalker play and he silences a hero, and that hero doesn't care, but this game, it's like the silence is just the death knell for LGD's team fight.
oh my, this is awful for Sylar. They were actually camping in bottom, and as soon as they walk back, he's getting ganked again.
You know, it reminds me of that no Tidehunter play that we saw from S4 and DreamHack, just waiting for a hero to come back to the lane and then picking him off. DDC getting caught out, dropping low. KYXY will be brought down, though. Orange are now the ones overextending. Blows being traded left, right, and center. Angry Sven comes in, cleans up the Chen. Now Ice next in line. This is turning into a disaster for Orange. TP out attempted. Is there a way to cancel this? There is. There is Roar. Now Xiaowei is here. They get 4 kills off of that. They don't get Yamate, though. He's pushing mid. Buyback from Ice Ice Ice. He wants a tower. He's got the Midas, and he's got an ultimate orb, despite dying in that fight. He's 4-1-4. Him and the Night Stalker, these two are having a huge impact. Already level 11 after this creep.
Yep, the farm gold is actually just going to get exponentially bigger because of this Midas. And I think the problem is that they just totally didn't factor in the Furion. I mean, he got the early Midas top, and he's already got an ultimate orb, like you said. And they're the ones that are taking towers right now. LGD only has taken 1 tower mid, while Orange took all the 3 tier 1 towers in every lane. So they have that extra lead right now in items because of that.
And they have these 2 key heroes in the Night Stalker and the Prophet that are just finding kills wherever they go. It's forcing LGD to 4 or 5 man, but they're not doing it like we saw LGD International, where it's 4 or 5 man and push a tower. It's 4 or 5 man and play defensively, and that's what Orange want. They'd love for Chen to be farming their jungle, Ice 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 pushing and farming on the enemy side of the map, and then Luna just as far away from the action as possible. Despite Yamate not having the best start, he's up to 64 CS. He's our 2nd highest net worth player. He's doing fantastically, and you know, where are the easy kills at this point? There just aren't that many, because Chen's now level 6. He's got the Hand of God. He's going to have a mech fairly soon. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is that Sylar's died like 4 or 5 times in a row, just consistently getting picked off.
Yep, and same thing's gonna happen right now. Yao's gonna go in, but he's probably gonna die here.
Huge engagement, breakout bottom lane, tons of zombies. Roar, that is a lot of zombies. That's like 10. The Prophet Treant's just really hurting them. The Tombstone does get killed off in the end, and now the fight turns around on the back of that Hand of God. Night Stalker was the one to fall there, but Xiaowei should be next in line. Nice Ursa clap, that is Stormbolt, and an easy kill. That one stolen by Ice. Hasn't stolen. Ice TP's forward, actually goes on to DD. Now he's thrown up in the air. They're going to find the counter kills. 4 kills going one way, and now 4 kills going the other. And LGD still trying to get this tier 1 bottom, and they still don't have the tier 1 top. This was not in the script, I gotta say.
Yep, I actually don't know why they did that. I think it was kind of obvious that both teams are just baiting each other right now. I mean, LGD baited Sylar bottom on the tier 2 tower, and Orange fell for it, and Yamata just got baited on their tier 1 bottom, and the LGD fell for it. Yao just went in with the war cry, and even though they had all these zombies, they just focused down the tombstone with the Chen creeps, and it died pretty relatively fast. So
I mean, even the Luna, she hits for almost 150 damage. So
yeah, and the problem right there is that's actually way bigger for Orange, because in their first gank, Sylar died, but this time Yamata actually didn't die. So he's actually bringing an item to him.
He's got almost a PKB. Wow, yeah, he's really caught up in this game. A lot of that, it feels like it's just amazing. He had such a bad start. And then suddenly it was Sylar, the one being pressured. And for me, it comes down to just Xiao8 not quite able to find the number of ganks the Night Stalker did. And this is one difference between the heroes. Night Stalker doesn't really have to wait for cooldowns, but Xiao8, without the roar, can't always find them as Beastmaster. KYXY just having a bigger impact so far this game. Yamate looks to be in a bit of trouble. He'll TP up bottom, and they won't find him in the end. Axe is thrown out, hoping for him to be there. But Archer played this perfectly. Sure, you can have the tier 1. We've gotten what we wanted out of that. We're going to push mid. We're going to farm your jungle. And in spite of that tower going down, the gold graph's still looking pretty solidly in their favor.
Yeah, but if Yamata had died there, it probably would have been a different story, but that wasn't really that bad at all for Orange. I mean, it was just a tier 1. And at this point, it's not that significant. And Yamata is going to have, especially because the lane is pushed right now, he's going to get his BKB within the next 2 minutes or so.
Well, Extinct, I think he's got the mech coming out right now. He's completed the mechanism. This is going to further allow the team to kind of sustain in these team fights, turn the fight around. And the longer that Luna lives, the more that the entire team is hitting like trucks. Orange continues to farm up. The Scythe device probably coming soon for Ice Ice Ice. Is there anything on the courier? No, not yet. So he's still... I mean, we're looking at probably a 21, 22-minute Scythe device, which is pretty damn good. Maybe even a little bit faster than that if he finds some kills, if he finds a tower. LGD, I feel like they've got to be a little bit nervous, mainly because they ran the offensive tri-lane Sven, and Sylar's been shut down. If Sven was getting all those stacks from DreamHack, just, you know, getting really fat really quickly at a lot of levels, if Sylar was having a great start, I'd say they'd be fine, but because neither of these heroes have gotten a good start, I think they're in a lot of trouble if they don't find some kills in a hurry.
Yeah, and I think KYXY is going to be in trouble here. They do have the Hawk for vision, so KYXY, unless they TP, yeah, he's going to go down.
Oh, he even uses the ult. I feel that's a bit of a mistake, or maybe not. Do they actually have the chainstone to bring him down? Here comes the heals. He's still alive. Finally, he'll drop. They did have to throw 5 heroes at him, and meanwhile, the trade-off is great for Orange. You know, they don't want to give up the Night Stalker for sure, but I think they're okay with that to some extent. They're pushing mid. They're pushing bottom. Not ideal, but you know, this is the problem that I was talking about. Just Orange not easy to kill, especially with the Chen and the Night Stalker being so tanky. Then the fights, you know, even when you find the kills, it's just taking such a huge investment. Oh, they go into Ice 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 middle lane. Stormbolt finds him, but he's inside the Sprout. He gets sent home by Chen. Oh, that is such a cock block.
Yep. He's probably going to TP bottom. Yeah, he's going to TP bottom to probably counter push this. Nah, he's canceling. So they're just going to be playing passive right now. Yeah, Ice 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 is actually really close to his sheep stick. It is being off cooldown right now. So...
yeah, even, I mean, he might even have it at the 20-minute mark. It's coming real soon for him, especially if he finds a tower. Meanwhile, LGD just continues to try and roam his 3 or 4, and it's not even that second nighttime yet. They know Darkness is on cooldown. They're still just too afraid to go and fight, you know, or to go and farm, rather. And they go into Yamate, but he has BKB, and he's got the ult. Will he pop the BKB? Will. There is going to be Roar, but Eclipse flies through. Do they have the heals to tank this up? I'm not sure. He's dropping low. Something was stolen by Rubik. It's a Stormbolt on 3. Ice with a hero. Rubik. In comes the Cavalry. The backup has arrived. Luna has died, but it looks to be a fairly noble sacrifice. Yao dropping low, but actually the Stormbolt may be enough to turn this fight around. DDC dropping low. Really questionable focus fire from Orange, going after 2 heroes, but in the end, it looks like it may work out. KYXY is still alive. 1 lone zombie trying to bring him down. Not sufficient. SC now trapped inside of an army of zombies and trees. It's minion apocalypse here. DD still alive, up to 1700 HP. Not an easy kill, but they're still looking to bring him down, and when it's all said and done, 4 heroes for a Luna. Oh boy, got off the Eclipse and BKB'd, and that was just too much damage, and more importantly, took too long to bring her down.
Yep, that Stormbolt probably was the MVP of that fight. Ice stole as soon as Yao casted it on the Night Stalker, I think, and he got a perfect one on both the Leshrac, the Sven, and I think the Beastmaster or the Undying, I forgot. But
It was a
And then
3-hero Stormbolt, and there were
he
4
chased-
heroes there.
Yeah, then he chased DDC all the way to the right, kind of outskilled them there in the trees. So that was actually pretty sick there by Ice.
Yeah, that happened on the sidelines while the rest of the heroes were duking it out near the secret shop. And, you know, it looked like maybe they weren't focus firing properly, but because the Chen came in and actually mech'd up Night Stalker when he's about to die, even KYXY was able to live through that. Just really nice team play from Orange. And, you know, I feel like the Night Stalker play has been really impressive from KYXY, but I mean, for me, it's also, a lot of it has to do with just the fact that they had a Prophet who didn't get shut down early. It's Ice on a hero he's comfortable with. Again, it's a hero that he can have a much bigger impact on in the mid-game than an ancient jungling lifestealer. He had a rough time in the laning stage, but he's bounced back. So, obviously, everybody pulling their weight on Orange, and with Mushi being sick, this is what you gotta do. Everybody's gotta step up to the plate.
And he just picks up his Scythe of Vice right now, so that's pretty big.
21 minutes. And a
Yeah, they can
Midas.
pick anyone off with this Night Stalker and him. And they're gonna he's probably gonna TP down to put pressure on this tier 2 tower. Okay, Yamata doesn't want to push it up, but I think he probably can. Yeah, Ice is gonna TP and they're gonna make treants. And I don't think that LGD can stop this without BKBs. They need BKBs right now to fight Orange. Without them, they're gonna be pretty screwed.
You know, LGD, they really want to be grouped up as 5, don't they? But Orange is just outmaneuvering them. It happened early, and now it's just Night Stalker constantly sprinting all over the map. Luna even being fairly mobile just because of her high base move speed. Of course, you have the Chen to send heroes home if they need a quick fountain trip. And then the Prophet, it's that extra mobility that's just allowing Orange to... It's always LGD reacting this game. It's been them reacting for a while now. They've tried to go for a few smoke ganks, but, I mean, even those, I feel like they just... The mindset had to have been, we need to get something going. We're losing this game right now. So, Orange in full control in pretty much every aspect.
Yamata's gonna be trouble top though. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
or is he?
That was a sick eclipse. Yep, he's gonna be fine.
In fact, Prophet comes in, the Scythe of Ice onto Yao, and Yao is looking to be in a lot of trouble here. There's a Warcry. Only level 3, easy kill. When Orange catch someone, they just die. When LGD catch someone, it feels like they live forever. Aside from that Undying, maybe. KYXY isn't done yet. Warcry and Hunter in the Night, that is a very, very speedy Night Stalker. Almost a Ferrari-esque level of speed. They go it up to DD. Hand of God to turn this around. Maybe, I'm not sure. Still, DDC lives, and now there's a pipe up on Sylar, actually. Might turn this fight around a little bit. Oh, I don't know if that was the best time to use the Necrolite ultimate. Ice barely takes any damage. Yamate still in the middle of this fight. Everybody getting that bonus damage. Everybody hitting like a truck. If they can get the auto attacks off the glaives, bouncing wildly, doing tons of damage. 3 heroes dead. Now the DD, as tanky as he is, he will fall. That zombie, if you keep on kicking him, eventually he'll fall over. And now they're going to get a tier 2 top. Oh boy, this is feeling like a downhill kind of roll for LGD. I'm not sure. What can they even do at this point to get back in this game?
Yep, and this is kind of ironic. I mean, this is directly contrasted to how LGD played most of their games before. It's like a passive style, but both teams are just counter-initiating each other with this Night Stalker and this Beastmaster and all these stuns they have. So it's a pretty sick action-packed game. Just both teams vying for tower pressure, and DDC is going to go down here.
Oh, there comes the Stormbolt. Oh, Ice has just stolen so many amazing spells this game. Extinct actually adds a kill to his total. They pick off another. LGD just getting picked apart one at a time and overwhelmed. Orange. You know, Sam, I actually had a chance to speak to Ice yesterday after their match, and he said he had not played with the team in over 3 weeks. He was supposed to cast with me for the second series, but he said he couldn't cast with me. The team wanted to practice. Boy, do they look like they practiced a lot yesterday. This, sure, LGD not really playing their best. Doesn't look like the same LGD we saw at G1 quite, but also Orange just seems to be a lot more decisive and the draft a lot more confident and I think comfortable for them.
Yeah, I think the problem right now is LGD put all their marbles on this Necrolite and snowballing, and I think Necrolite is a hero that has to snowball and get a lot of farm. He needs all these like small items like a mech, treads, cloak. He needs all this like magic. He just needs to be a tank, and even then he doesn't have enough DPS. He has just magic damage.
He's 0-5, and yeah, and you're right. And there's a BKB on the Luna, so how much does that do for you?
And yeah, I mean he didn't do anything in the fights. He just popped his heal. He didn't even get an assist. So really rough game there for Sylar.
It was, and You know, the Nikolai, it's a hero that we've seen work from time to time, but I feel like overall it does not have a great record, at least in Dota 2 when played by these Chinese teams. Either way, guys, this was only game number 1. This is a best out of 3. You have been watching the GEST Dota 2 Challenge, brought to you by Dota Talk, presented to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, and he's Bulba. If you enjoy our casting, be sure to follow him, twitter.com/bulbadota. He may have some exciting news for you guys fairly soon. As for me, twitter.com/ldDOTA. Be sure to follow and support us both if you enjoy our casting. Stay tuned. We will have game number 2 coming up soon. It's now LGD.cn, who many would have thought would be the favorite of these 4 teams going into the event, who are on the ropes. They are on the brink of being knocked out, being the 4th place team in this double elimination bracket. Can they come back, or will Orange take it in a clean toe sweep? We'll find out after these messages.